Last week, I told you to make a list of 50 names. If you did the work, the list is sitting right now in your hand, on your kitchen counter, in a notebook, on your notes app, and you have been adding names to this list. Well, today, I am going to tell you exactly what to do with it. And I want to warn you, what I am about to teach you is going to feel almost too small. Because we're not going to build a website. We're not going to hire a designer. We're not going to open an LLC. We're not going to require any crazy Stripe setup. We're not going to design a logo. We are not going to write a single piece of code. We are going to launch our first digital offer with a Google Doc and a phone. That's it, a Google Doc and a phone. And the work you have already done over the last 9 episodes is what's going to make this possible. So if you're thinking, man, it cannot be this simple, good. I want you to stay with me, because by the end of this episode, you are going to know exactly what you're going to do in the next 24 hours. And it's going to surprise you because it's more doable than what you think. So please stay with me. Welcome to Freedom to Follow. I am Salime. If this is your first time here, this is a podcast for believers who want to build digital businesses for one reason: to fund their obedience. To create that kind of margin that lets you say yes to God when God says, go, give, stay, plant, write, send, train, serve, whatever your calling may be. For over 20 years, I have built digital platforms and digital businesses, and I am here to save you the headaches, the mistakes, and hand you the frameworks and the tools to help you build something that puts income where your calling is. Everything we talk about comes with a free exercise waiting for you at latimpreneurs.com/the vault. Now, if you're coming back from last week, welcome back. You have your mission sentence, you have your evidence file, the Money Believes mirror, and you have the first 50 list with real names of real people on it. Well, today we're going to get that list into launch. So let's get into it. I want to tell you what the first version of Latimpreneurs actually looked like. It is not similar to what you see now. There was no podcast, no website, no email list, not social media presence, like the first version after Rwanda, when those 3 women said yes. Well, I needed to send them something. They had already committed, they had already paid, they needed a place to go. And you know what I sent them? I sent them a Google Doc. That's it, one Google Doc. Maybe a couple pages long. At the top of it, it said Latimpreneurs, one underneath, and it had what the program was, who it was for, what we were going to cover in these 4 sessions, how it was going to work, the price, how to start. I emailed each one of them the link, and I told them to read it, to send me a screenshot of their calendar dates that worked for them, and that's it. That was the entire system. Again, I had no payment page. It was all sent through PayPal. There was no client portal. Remember that I had created a website for a completely different idea, so I was working on changing that completely. But we had to have something. So we had 4 Zoom calls, a WhatsApp thread, and again, there was no course, no platform. I shared with them this Google Drive, and then it went. There was no contract. There was nothing special. It was just what I was going to deliver. Here's what we do. This is the refund policy. And I was really tempted to make it more professional. I literally wanted to design a logo and to build a brand web page and to set up a proper payment system, maybe send a beautiful PDF, like the ones that come out of a design agency or Canva. And I am glad I didn't do any of those things. I didn't, every one of those impulses. If I would have done, it would have killed this launch. Because by the time I would have finished designing like the logo, these 3 women would have lost momentum. The 2 would have said, yeah, not right now, and would have gone. So they would have to wait weeks for me to start something formal. And that voice in my head, the one that we talked 3 episodes ago, the imposter syndrome, would have had enough time to convince me that this whole thing was a complete mistake. So this Google Doc protected me from my own perfectionism. It let me serve women who had said yes that week, that same week. It let me start. And I want to tell you something that I think is going to set you free. Professional, or what looks professional, is not what makes you legitimate. Useful is what makes you legitimate. Showing up to serve the men or women who paid you is what makes you legitimate. Delivering on what you promised is what makes you legitimate. The Google Doc was useful. It told them what they were going to get, how they were going to pay, where would they start, but that was all it had to do. Professional came later. Useful is the first step, and you can start useful today. So here's a concept. The smallest possible launch is 2 things: 1 document and 3 voice notes. You do not need anything else to make your first sale. You do not need literally anything else to make your first $500. You do not need anything else to have the work you have built over the last 9 weeks together and put it in hands of women or men who already trust you. All you need is a Google Doc and 3 voice notes spread over 2 weeks. I want you to understand this clearly, because the world is going to try to talk you out of it. You will be tempted to build a website first, to, design beautiful sales pages. You will be tempted to set up a course platform, to do a launch video. You will be tempted until you have your logo. And I am asking you to resist every single one of those temptations. Not because these things are bad. They're not bad. We're going to make them happen. But this is not the first thing. The first thing is, can I send a real offer to a real person who already trusts me, and can they say yes and pay me by the end of the week? That's how it starts. And all you need is that Google Doc and 3 voice notes that do that. Everything else is for later. And by next week, when you have the 1-page offer drafted, and you have your 3 voice notes outlined, and your first note already sent to the warmest 20 people of your first 50s list, it's going to become the smallest possible launch. And it is bigger than 90% of the women who said they want to build a digital business will ever do. But you're not one of them. We're going to start a digital business slowly. So this is the smallest possible launch. And I'm going to give you 2 tools in the order that I want you to build them. Slowly enough that you can take notes, although understand that this is going to be in a page in latinpreneurs.com. Okay, so tool number 1, the 1-page offer. You just have to open a Google Doc. The title is the conversational version of your mission sentence, and then 6 sections. This is the entire document. Now, section 1, what I help with. And it's going to be 1 paragraph, 2 or 3 sentences most, which comes again from your mission sentence that we did before. So it can be like, I help moms in the first 90 days after their child gets learning diagnosis to read, understand, and negotiate the first educational plan so that their child gets what they need, and parents do not lose 6 months trusting a system that does not always look out for them. You do not need to write a new sentence. You already wrote this a couple of episodes ago. Now, section 2, who is this for? And this is coming out from your persona portrait. This is for the mom who just got that diagnosis in the last 60 days. She's in shock. She has a meeting on the calendar with the school, but she does not know what to understand. She does not know what to ask. She doesn't have time to read 3 books on special education law. She needs someone next to her right now who has been through what she is going right now to walk with her. Again, you already have this. It's your persona. It's in your notes from latinpreneurs.com/the vault in episode 4. Now, section 3, what you get. And this is super important. List exactly what the woman who pays you is going to receive. Now, for most of you, this is going to be a small number of one-on-one sessions, a small number of, voice note touch points, a small number of asynchronous materials. But you have to write specifically what they're going to get, not selling vibes. You're selling defined hours with defined deliverables. For example, 4 one-hour video calls over the next 8 weeks, unlimited voice note support during business hours between calls, and a shared Google Doc that grows through our work together with the specific language that you're going to use for those meetings. The questions you can ask and the rights you can have to claim. That's enough. And then section 4, how it works. And this is all logistics. We will schedule the first call within the next 7 days of you saying yes. Calls will happen on Google or Zoom or whatever. Voice notes happen within WhatsApp, a WhatsApp group. This is a shared Google document. It will open, I will send you the link after our first call. And everything is going to be bilingual. I don't know. 2 or 3 sentences, that's enough. Now, section 5. What does it cost? The price, one line, $250 payable in 2 installments or $500 paid in full. I don't know, whatever you decide with the math that you did last week. Again, we're not over explaining the price. We're not justifying the price. We're not apologizing for it. You did your market research. You know what it's worth. Do not write a paragraph about how this is normally $3,000 and you're giving it away. You're not going to do that. What you are charging should be fair, and you have decided what it is. So put the number on the page and move on. Now, section 6, how to start. And it has to be 1 paragraph. Text me back or call me. This is my number. I will send you a link to pick our first call as a payment link. And once you pay it and schedule, we are official. That's it. 6 sections, which is like half a page, maybe a full page if you want to change fonts or whatever. And you're going to save this in a Google Doc, which is free. You're going to change the sharing settings so anyone with the link can view. And you're going to copy the shareable link and put it somewhere you can find it again. The link is the only thing that you need to send to any human who says yes to you. You do not need a sales page. This is your sales page. You do not need a checkout page. You need this link. This is tool number 1. Now, tool number 2, 3 voice notes. Once your 1-page offer exists, the second tool is how to announce it. And you're going to use 3 voice notes spread over 2 weeks. Voice notes, not posts, not emails, not stories. Personal voice notes, WhatsApp voice notes for most of the people in the list. The intimacy of someone's voice in somebody's ear is more powerful than any caption you write. The voice note is the closest thing to picking up the phone without the friction of making the person answer. If your list is mostly of people who do not use WhatsApp, you can do this as personal Instagram, audio messages, voice memos by text, short emails written as if you were leaving a voice note. The formal flexes that structure literally does not. 3 voice notes doing 3 jobs. Now, day 1, the story plus the why. This is your announcement, 60 to 90 seconds. You're not telling anything. You're not selling anything in this voice note. You're telling them you are starting something. Hey, whoever you're in, I want to tell you about something that I've been working for a while. You know how I help moms walk through the first 90 days after a learning diagnosis? Well, it is now a digital business. I am calling it name of your offer. I am only opening it to a few people first because I want to make sure I am the right person to help. Humility. I will tell you more next week. That's it. No link, no price, no pitch. Just, hey, this is what I'm doing and this is why. The women on your list who are closest to needing this are going to start replying to the voice note right away. Some of them will ask you for the link even before you send the second voice note. Let them. And then send them the 1-page offer. Tell them you would love to talk with them one-on-one. Day 7, the problem plus the proof. A week later, and again, 60 to 90 seconds, the voice note is about the woman you are for. Hey, I want to follow up with what I told you last week. The reason I am doing this is because I keep seeing the same thing. Moms who walk into their first IEP meeting and do not know what they're about to sign. They get 6 months down the road and they did not consent because they did not know that they could push back. I have walked, with different moms in the past year for free, and every single one of them has said the same thing. Oh, I wish somebody had told me this before I went in. So I made it formal. That's it. You are naming the problem from your problem statement, and you're dropping evidence that you have done this before. You are letting feel why this matters. Day 14, the invitation plus a link. 2 weeks after the first one, 60 to 90 seconds, and this is the ask. Hey, this is the last time I'm going to mention this for a while. I have 3 spots open, or 4 or 5 of the offer name. It is 4 one-on-one sessions over the next 2 months, plus voice note support, plus a shared document that I've been building for years. It is $250. So if this is you, or if this is someone you know and love, here is the link to all the details. I would love to talk to you this week. And then you send the link to the one-on-one page offer on Google Docs. 3 voice notes in 2 weeks, and that is your entire campaign, all with free tools. You are going to hear a little voice in your head that does the same thing, like, oh, this does not feel professional. You're right, it does not. It's not supposed to. Professional is what you build afterwards. Professional is what you put in place after you have served 20 women and you have now money and they have told you exactly what you should be offering. Professional is what you can afford after you have made your first couple $1,000s. But useful is what you start with. The Google Doc is free and is useful. The first voice notes are free and they're useful. The first 50 lists that I made and I'm giving away for free is useful. And useful is what takes you to a place where professional can exist. Now, if you wait for professional, you will be waiting for 2 more years. The woman on your list will move on. The voice in your head will get louder. The mission sentence will start to feel like a tagline instead of a calling. Do not wait for professional. Send the voice note. And the deeper you go, and the deeper you learn how to handle the responses and how to take payments, how to structure this 4 sessions, how you deliver well, that will become your first testimonials and your next referrals. All of that is going to teach you to do what comes after this session. We will talk about it. It will come. But for now, your job is to do that document, Google Sheet, and the voice notes. Again, this is all in tools that are available for free. So again, sit with this for a minute or 2. There's a voice in your head already starting. And I know it is. It is there, but and it's going to bother you because you don't have a logo. But again, it's going to tell you Google Doc is not enough. I want you to hear me. The Google Doc is enough. The voice note is enough. The list of 50 is enough. You are not building the final version of your digital product tonight. You are just building the smallest possible version that can serve one real woman, a couple of real women this month. That is the goal. Small is the work right now. Small is the obedience right now. We will make it bigger after you have a couple $1,000 where you can actually fund what is needed to grow your business. But for now, this is enough. We're going to go back to Gabriela and then I will probably let her go. But okay, Gabriela, do you know what she actually did when she made her first $987? She did exactly this. She had her first 50 list, 63 names by the time she was done. She opened a Google Doc and she wrote the 6 sections. She kept the whole thing under 1 page and she called it the first 90 days after the diagnosis. One-on-one with Gabriela. The total cost was $250. She sent, it as a shareable link. She sent her voice notes the first day, the first Tuesday, to the first, warmest 20 people on her list, the story and the why. And then, then she told me that she had recorded it a couple of times, but 6 women replied within the first 48 hours. She didn't even get to voice note 2 before her first sale. By the time she sent the 3rd voice note, the invitation with the link, she had 4 buyers. 4 buyers from a list of 63 with 3 voice notes over 2 weeks and a Google Doc. And that took her literally 2 evenings to write. She made those $987 without website or logo or course or platform or LLC or funnel or ads, just a Google Doc and a phone. And the 18 weeks of work that she had done with me, was it 18? But she had done exactly the same path that I'm teaching you. And she launched. The preparation was there. You've already done the preparation. The last 9 weeks have been preparation. The launch this week is the smallest possible launch. And again, it's not the last version of your digital business, but it is the first. It is the simplest. It is the fastest way to know if this works. So I made something for you. the smallest possible launch kit. It is waiting for you for free at latinpreneurs.com/the vault. Part 1 is the one-page offer template, which the 6 sections in order with the principles and some prompts that will help you. And I want you to fill it tonight. Most of you will probably finish this in under an hour. It's probably most of it is already work that we've done for the past 9 weeks. Now, part 2 is a 3 voice notes outline, literally 3 scripts that you can fill in the blank. There's already a skeleton. There's already a way so that you do not get frazzled. And you're just going to write it and record it this week. The first voice note is going to, be sent within the first 24 hours. And I want you to hear me within the next 24 hours. Again, don't wait for you to have the logo or the website. No. As soon as the Google Doc is finished by tomorrow, because it's almost all done for you, you're going to go download the kit. You're going to write the one-page offer tonight. Again, it's super easy. You're just going to fill it out. You're going to have the outline of your first voice note. You're going to record it and you're going to send it by tomorrow to the first 20 people who are your warmest leads in your first 20 in the next 24 hours. If it feels too fast, okay, send it in the next 2 days, but send it. Because the women and the men who I watched build real businesses are not the ones with the best ideas. They're literally the ones who send the first voice notes. So go to latinpreneurs.com/the vault. If you're already part of the vault, latinpreneurs.com/login and download the smallest possible launch kit. I'm giving this away for free and it will help you launch your first offer of your digital business, the first version, even if it is not professional, but it will be useful. Now, before I let you go, for 10 weeks, we have been walking together. You understand what digital business is. You know how many hours this is going to take. You have built a persona or avatar. You have named your problem. You have wrote the sentence. You have filled the evidence filed. You rewrote the money beliefs. You built the first 50. And tonight, in the next 24 hours, you're going to send a voice note that says in your own voice, hey, I am doing it. I am doing this. And I understand the weight of this moment. Up until you press send on that voice note, every part of this work has been private. It has lived on your notes from Latinpreneurs or on your phone or in your head. Hopefully not in your head. Hopefully you're doing the work. That voice note is the first time it goes public, and I know that you're freaking out. That voice note is the first time that women in your life hear out loud in your voice what God has been doing for the past 10 weeks. That voice note is the start of a digital business. I do not need for it to be perfect. It does not need to be polished. It does not have to be recorded 25 times. It simply needs to exist. I need it to leave your phone. I need it to land on somebody's WhatsApp or inbox before next episode drops. Because once it can leave, it has left. You cannot unsend it. And once you cannot unsend it, it lands differently. You're no longer a woman thinking about a digital business. You are a woman who has begun. Next week is going to be the second to last episode. And I am going to do something I have not done yet in this season. I want to walk through how to use what is becoming the most important tool and the most spiritually dangerous tool in your business right now, social media. Used wisely, without it eating or ruining your life. We will have that conversation next because it's important. But tonight is the day for the document. Tomorrow for the voice note. So go to latinpreneurs.com/the vault and download the smallest possible launch kit. Fill it out, write it down, and send the first voice note tomorrow. And I will see you next week and we'll talk about social media. But for now, this is Salime and this was Freedom to Follow by Latinpreneurs. Goodbye.